Okay, so I've been hearing a lot of BS that Komeada is just a crazy person, that he has no alternative motives, but I think otherwise. So I'm gonna give you all like 3 reasons why I think that he's not a crazy person and he's just misunderstood. Okay, reason number 1 why I think Komeada is just misunderstood is because I don't think a lot of people know this, but if you look at his free time events, he says that, he has these illnesses. And even though he says that he just read it from some book or something, I think he was actually telling the truth. And I think he didn't want anybody to get close to him, so that's why he kind of said it was fake. But I actually think that he has them. And his disease is, he has frontotemporal dementia, and that kind of makes him, as people call him, crazy, because frontotemporal dementia makes you, I wouldn't say crazy, more like unfit to talk to others. And frontotemporal dementia can also give you OCD, which is his obsessive compulsions of his cycle of hope and despair. He also has some form of lung cancer, I believe, and that's more of a reason why he doesn't want anybody to get close to him, because he doesn't have that long to live since he has 2 major diseases. So if he got somebody close to him, he would see their despair of that, or of him dying if they got close to him. And I think that he genuinely does care about everybody else, but he just doesn't show it so that they get more detached from him. And that's what makes me so sad about when I see other people's reactions of him dying, because a lot of them are really happy. I'm not naming anybody, but I just know that a lot of reactions are kind of happy that Nagito died, because I know how they feel. Like, he was really rude and he was like really creepy, but he did it all in so-called the name of hope, because he wanted to stop the traitor course, even if he said that, even if it knocked out every other student. I feel like somewhere deep inside he knew that they would figure out that Chiaki was the traitor, because he has trust in Hajime, I believe. At least that's what I think. And I think that Hajime should have had more faith in him, because if Hajime had more faith in him, then I think Komeada would have been more willing to help out the team and like help them figure out who the actual traitor is, instead of branching off and having its own idea. So yeah. My second reason for why Komeada is just misunderstood is because of all the traumatic things that's happened throughout his life. For example, when he was in middle school, he got kidnapped by somebody, and usually that's a very traumatic experience, being kidnapped. But I think he bottles up his feelings a lot, and that's not very good for a person. So I think that's like tormenting him, and he has nobody, like I said before, nobody trusts him, so he has nobody to vent to or nothing to, like, he can't talk to anybody because they don't trust him. And I think that's why he's a little bit out of the loop with talking to people, and that's why he acts so weird when people talk to him, because he doesn't know how to communicate with other people, because nobody's ever wanted to talk to him before. And like another example of a traumatic experience that has put him through like torment and him bottling up his feelings is when his parents died. Like, it would be, tell me this, how would it not be traumatic to watch your parents die in front of you while all you can do is sit there and do nothing? That's very emotional for somebody to go through. Like, even if you hated your parents, Like, that's very traumatic to go through something like that. And I'm not speaking for like myself, but if I had to watch my parents die, that would be the most heartbreaking thing ever. And I think it would really help if I could talk to somebody about it. But since Nagito has nobody to talk to, he's bottling up all these feelings and he has nothing to vent about. So he's just bottling up all the feelings that he has and terrors that he has all by himself, which is, like I said, not good for you. And that's like, sorry, I'm getting like really mad because I know that a lot of people think that he's just this crazy character that's there to be crazy, essentially, but there's so much more to that than what meets the eye. It takes into account that you have to know, or you have to get to know somebody before you make an impression on them. Just by the way they act, they could be completely different on the inside. Like Nagito, he acts crazy, or so they call it, but he's actually in pain, and he has nobody to talk to, and he has no friends either. So, yeah. And of course, my final reason as to why Nagito is misunderstood is because, well, it's kind of something I've touched on a little bit at first. He doesn't have that long to live. So I feel like, I've definitely touched on this, but he feels like he doesn't feel that long to live, and he feels like garbage, essentially, because he knows that, or I feel like he thinks that he should have died in that crash where his parents died. But because he thinks that he's all the reason why bad things happen to everybody he loves. Like, ever since he was a child, he knew that he had like a good and bad luck cycle. And after his parents died, he rather confirmed it more because he was with his parents on the plane crash. So he blames it all on himself when it's not his fault. And so I also think, like, going back to like him like tormenting or being tormented, he blames everything on himself because he knows that he has like a bad and good luck cycle. So when something bad happens, he always tells himself, this is my fault, I did this because I'm alive. And that's probably why he calls himself like trash, essentially, because he doesn't think that he's worthy of like being with the like ultimates, of course, but also like just being alive in general. I know the audio is pretty bad, but these are just all the reasons why I think Nagito Komeada is misunderstood. And I hope that all those Danganronpa fans, or all of them, I only have like 3, but hopefully people will understand him more and stop calling him a villain, because I really don't think he's a villain. I think that he's just a really hurt person, somebody who's gone through a lot of stuff. So yeah, and now you can just watch the rest of the speed paint because it's not that much longer.
Of the intense malice that I had been feeling. Please be dead. 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 Oh yeah, he did. And that's the way I like it. That's the way I like it. That's the way I like it. Torch a Nagito, make him despair, then kill the motherfucker. I can't sing, na 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 na.